What's up, everybody? This is Jay, and this is my Snowfall R.I.P. Irene and where she went wrong. Now, Irene Abe was the reporter trying to be the next Connie Chung, trying to break this story. I mean, her heart was in the right place, but she was not careful, and she underestimated her adversary, who was the people that she was writing the story. She was threatening to put their personal business in the streets, and that is a no-no. And in the end, she ended up being a martyr for a good cause. But would you do the same? Let's get into it. Now, Irene was trying to get this story published, but the reporter it wasn't going to work, and her editors told her, you need to have somebody on the record. Now, that was her chance right there to leave it alone. But instead, she wanted to get somebody to go on the record and talk about it, but nobody would willingly do it, so she found a weak link. And then she went to Alton and basically told him that she was going to put this story out regardless. I mean, even crackhead Wanda with the little pookie lips heard this and knew that that was some trouble. Her lips were still nicely and crackly, and she knew, hey, something ain't right. Now, Irene basically framed it that, hey, you want to call the cops? Then I'll tell them that your son is a drug dealer, this, that, and the other. And instead of Alton going and talking to his son and everybody about what's going on, he thought that he was doing the right thing and he was going to talk to her. Now, I don't know where in his mind he felt that this reporter could help him. I mean, he was in the Black Panthers. He should have known better than to realize that a reporter would be able to protect him from the cops. And he's seen what happened to different leaders of the Black Panthers and how they was taken out by the cops, CIA, FBI, whatever. But yet and still, he felt that he was obligated when he went to her house, saw the evidence laid out. Now, as he saw, and she was dumb because he could have killed her right there. She couldn't have protected her own self. She tried to celebrate with Hoppin' Bob, but he was worried. He said, hey, this ain't two New York cities you dealing with. This the CIA, Irene. I mean, you ain't being right. You done went past the gun line, boss. But she didn't want to listen. She tried to say, hey, something happened to me, nobody would care. And he like, no, I would care. And she thought she was protecting everybody by putting this story out there, when of course she can't even protect herself. I mean, if somebody wanted to do something to her, it would be nothing that she can do about it. And we see he was worried. They had a kid together, and even though they wasn't together no more, he didn't want her to die. And she ruined Alton's life by doing this. She basically told him that he didn't have a choice, when in the truth of the matter is he did, because she didn't have a story without him. He got turned into a crackhead by his son, and he could have gotten killed by Franklin, and his life still is in danger, and Franklin knows it. And Irene could have gotten him killed, the family killed, and she was playing with fire, and she had on gasoline draws. Now, she wouldn't leave the story alone. She kept on trying to write and push the envelope, and she had a 3-part series that she was working on. Now, she should have realized when the heat was getting close to leave it alone, but that's why it was called Sleeping Dogs, because she would not let it lay. Now, she wanted to be Lois Lane, and she was working with the editor, and they was a little worried about the story, and even she was calling her little sidekick Jimmy Olsen, but he was more like Jimmy Walker, because he didn't have a clue, but a couple little corny ass jokes. He tried to bring a little sham pipple, and she trying to diss it. She should have drank it up, because her days were numbered, and she should have chilled. Now, she should have realized that she can't do any damn thing, but she didn't, because she could have died when she got the phone call that Mr. X wanted to meet with her. What if that was her day right there? She went by herself to the damn watering hole, her favorite little watering hole. Franklin could have had her killed right then and there. I mean, she couldn't even protect herself, let alone her family or anybody else. And for Alton to believe this was ridiculous. Now, Franklin knew she had a weak spot when she was guzzling that Drano, but yet and still, she still was trying not to listen when Franklin told her, hey, you dealing with the CIA, is no telling if what your story is true, what they would do to shut it up. And she talking about, don't threaten my family. And he had to say, hey, it ain't me you dealing with. I mean, she wasn't paying attention to the writing on the wall or on her paper. You dealing with trained killers doing a huge illegal activity, and they will do anything to shut you up. And so when she went back to work, they had all kind of top brass from the Pentagon there. They was able to stop her story. And not only that, you know, Kojak had to let her know, you out of here. She lost her job. So not only did she get the story canned, she got canned. So now she has no protection at all because she has no story to write. Even Hoppin' Bob told her, look, you need to come stay with me, okay? They can't come past the gun line. You come on over here, boss, and then I'll help you. I mean, you think this is a joke. This ain't no two New York Cities. And she tried to tell him, no, I'm going to protect you. I'm going to keep you away from this, which, I mean, they would have killed him too if they were together because they couldn't leave no witnesses. But she should have left it alone then. She would be alive. But here comes strike two. And so she went on to the damn radio show with some Irish coffee. Sadat X was ready there to get the little power to the people speech. But even he knew, okay, she about to spill the beans. We about to see how it fall. Now, Alton was with her. But even he didn't say nothing on the radio when it was on air. He let her do all the talking because they would definitely be after his ass. You never know who's listening. Now, I think it was a little ironic that, you know, Teddy and Gustavo was listening to this little radio show, COINTELPRO. But nevertheless, they the CIA, they could have got the word out. And then she threatening, he said, oh, okay, you come and bring in the real. Okay, well, what's the names then? And she said, well, I ain't going to say the names right now because I ain't trying to get Americans killed. But if they don't crack down, heads need to roll. And I'm going to tell the name of the CIA officer and his alias. That was a no-no. You got too much coming about your mouth now. You keep my name about your mouth. You hear me? And that's the problem that she had. Now she done put it out there that if something don't happen, she about to start putting real info out there in the streets. And of course, Teddy was listening and he realized, okay, gotta go. And he was pissed. Even Gustavo ain't had nothing to say on that when he knew, hey, she talking too much, amigo. What'd you do? And he had no choice. She put him into a corner. You can't put his personal CIA name and aliases out there in the street. He would get killed. It would ruin everything he was working on. And yeah, it was wrong what he was doing, but she's stupid. She kept going to the same spot, the same watering hole, and he was able to walk up. He could have killed her right then and there. Instead of her getting scared and calling the police, he gave her the little fake little sob story about how he want to get revenge because they canned him. And she wanted to get this damn story so bad that she let him talk and she fell for it. Another thing that she fall for is you never sit with your back to the door, especially when you're a wanted person. Now, he told her, hey, you want this whole story? I'm gonna need a drink first. Now, she don't know if the bartender was in on it or what, but he done slipped her a Mickey. Okay, and he slipped her the Mickey. She guzzled it down because she, you know, that's her favorite drink, to get a little oil up in her. She ready to get loose and start writing. But she made a mistake. This is strike three. You trusting the person that you're trying to out. You're trying to get this story so bad, you let your guard down for the third and final time. You done messed up, and now you won't get a second chance. He already gave you the needle and told you, hey, next time you won't wake up. She kept on talking. Now he comes right here with her. He trying to give her the little drizzank, and she was tipsy. She should have called the cab. Even he said, hey, you want me to call a cab? But she said, don't touch me. You're still not a good person. You know that, right? You're not a good person. What you're doing is wrong. And he tried to, you know, play like, okay, I'm sorry, whatever, this, that, and the other. But she did not understand her adversary and who she was dealing with. And Franklin tried to tell her, there's no telling what they would do to you or your loved ones. And nevertheless, she got that Mickey. It started feeling good. And she was in that car hot, tried to roll the window down. Next thing you know, she was literally asleep at the wheel. And boom, shakalaka, it was over. She done crashed. It's gonna look like a drunk driving incident. She had a little booger sugar running about her nose, and Teddy was right there to just wipe it up. And next thing you know, she had her little fat last few breaths. Her last vision was knowing, damn, I really forked up. And damn, I should have listened to Hoppin' Bob when he told me who I was dealing with, not to go past that gun line. And now she's dead, and it was all made to look like an accident. And like Teddy was trying to tell her, you know, you can't let this info out. When he gave her the little slip to the Mickey, you needed to chill, but she didn't. Ended up looking like an accident, crashed, took the evidence, and all she was a sad story on the news. Another drunk driving incident, another sad story gone wrong. And now I think Sissy knows the gravity of the game that she's in. This ain't no real estate game. You dealing with the game of death. And unfortunately for Irene, she ain't gonna be the next Connie Chung. She ain't breaking out no new stories. She ain't the next Lois Lane. It's all a wrap for her. She's another victim of the CIA and this money train that's been rolling for a while. And hey, what would you all do? I give her credit. She was courageous in the sense that she stood up against power, and she tried to break a story that needed to be broken, and she was trying to bring to light something that needed to be brought to light. It was evil, and it was very wrong to bring and flood the black community with drugs in order to fund an illegal war. Everything she was doing was right. I give her credit. It needed to be done, but did she do it the right way? That's what I want to know in the comments. I don't think she did. She should have tried to be an anonymous reporter or something in order to protect herself. I mean, what good is it now that she did all that work and now she's dead? We do know in history that the story did eventually come out, but how did that help her as a person when you're dead? It is true, it's better to live for something than to die for nothing, and she did die for something. It's just unfortunate to see people with their heart in the right place end up with it in the wrong place, and that's how she died. When she hit that car, it got shifted, and that was a wrap for her. And you got to be careful if you do have information that is important and you need to break it. Try to do it in a way that not only gets your story out or gets the truth out, but protects yourself. And that goes from whether it be a relationship, a job, or whatever the case may be. You gotta protect yourself, or else it's not really helping you, and it may not help the situation. Had she not have went on that radio show, maybe, she could have still been alive and things would have been different. Maybe she could have gave the story to somewhere else, distributed to other news outlets. Maybe she could have did a few other different things so that if she was found dead, no matter what, the story would be out there. But she didn't go about it the right way. She put other people's lives in danger. She lied to Alton in order to get him to go on the record, which was a huge mistake, and then had the audacity to say she can protect somebody when she couldn't protect herself if somebody tried to steal her purse. It's sad to see her go out like Willie Lump Lump in a damn car accident. It's never going to get investigated. She got a history of getting liquored up on that oil, and hey, like the great Wu-Tang Clan once said, you best protect your neck. You got to look out for yourself. If you ain't taking care of yourself, how could you get anything else done? If your health and your situation ain't right, how can you get your story out? How could you look out for anybody? How could you protect anybody? And when she got that little dose of Act Right juice that put her to sleep from Teddy and Gustavo, that was a cue right there to go underground and to start to go into hiding and leak the story out a different way. But she didn't take it, and we see what happened in the end. Y'all let me know in the comments what you think. I'm Jay. I'll see y'all in the next Snowfall video, and I'm up out of here. Peace.